Welcome back from the break. I hope you had lots of good releasing opportunities and used the method on your break, whether it was a few minutes or longer. Also, I want to say a little more about gains. I know we've been mentioning a lot on this course about gains, but I just want to emphasize the importance of carrying this book with you wherever you go and recording your gains, no matter how small. We are all excellent at validating what doesn't work in our lives. Just experts at it. We're pros. In fact, I could ask anyone here or anyone at home to make a list of all the things that don't work about their lives and all the things that are off, and you'd have no problem with it at all. No problem at all. If I asked you to make a similar list of everything that was good in your life, you'd start scratching. You might think of one or two, and then you'd be hard-pressed to think of it. It's only a habit. One of the things we'll be doing by releasing is we'll start to break that habit of always getting caught up in the negative. By willing to face your feelings and let them go, you naturally become more and more positive. Your inherent state is positive. And this book will help remind you that it's starting to shine through. It's you doing it. And it will not only help you with releasing, it will help you in your life. How many times have you been involved in a project, and because you weren't aware of the progress you were making, you gave up? Because you didn't validate. Yeah, I've taken a few steps. Maybe you're not at the goal yet, but you've taken a few steps towards the goal, and we forget that. And we get lost in the next obstacle. And we can do that with the method, too. You can forget. The next time the feeling comes up, you go, oh, God, I didn't make any progress. Why am I even doing this? But then if you take out your gains book and look in and say, well, wait a minute. Yeah, well, just about 10 minutes ago I had this. And also, by the way, it's a good idea to date each page in here and put all the gains from that day on one page. The reason for that is you might think it took you forever to work through a problem. Then you go back in your gains book and you realize 3 days, and it was something you've been working on for 30 years up until that point. 3 days later, after starting to release, it was starting to clear up. So make sure you also put the date on the page when you record your gains. And we'll probably mention gains a few more times because it is a very important part of the course. Validate the positive. What we're going to do now is going to work on another release sheet. A lot of the course, again, is oriented around these release sheets. These are the heart of the course. And again, your willingness to apply yourselves to these release sheets will make a difference between you getting some benefit out of the method and you really flying with it. So turn to the page in your workbook that says have to on top of it, things I have to do. Most of us have long lists of things that we have to do. And the problem with all those things that we have to do is we don't want to do them. When you think you have to do anything, what's your first reaction? No, I'm not doing it, forget it. I don't want to. And we're telling ourselves you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this all day long. You have to take care of your children, you have to pay your bills, you have to. And if we're not saying it to ourselves, our spouses are, our friends are, society is. So that we live in a sea of have-tos. Now, the more you release, the less you feel like you have to do anything. That doesn't mean you don't choose to do it. In fact, it's easier to do all those things that you've been saying, I have to do this, like I have to lose weight. 10 years later, I still have to lose weight. You haven't lost any weight because of that push. So what we'll be doing with this sheet is focusing on the things that we have to feel like we have to do and starting to release some of that feeling that's pushing us into feeling like we have to. Because once we let go of that feeling of having to, then we can choose to or not to. We might discover some of the things we think we have to do, we don't. Maybe we can delegate. If you're a boss and you think you have to do this, this, and this, all of a sudden you release, you might realize, hey, that's why I have employees. And we forget that because we feel like we have to do it. So make a list of some of the things that you feel like you have to do. Those of you here and also those of you at home. Before we start working on it together, I just want to briefly explain how you work with this sheet. As you've already done, you've made a list of the things that you have to do. And what we can start doing is I'll work with some people here, and you at home can start working on your own. And also those of you who I'm not working with, don't wait for me. Remember, it's a do-it-yourself tool, and we're working ourselves out of a job. But anyway, what you do is you look at your list, and then one at a time, you see what feelings you have about that have to, and you keep releasing. until you feel only good feelings about it. And remember to let go of some of those too. So who has a have to they'd like to let go of? Yes, Greg.
I'll go. When I'm at work, I feel like no matter who calls or what it is, I always have to return the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of bothers me because it creates a pressure that it can be some salesperson that I really don't want to talk to, but if they leave a message in my office, like, I've got to return that call.
Right.
You know? And I'd like to change that.
Okay. So see what you're now feeling is about it.
I guess there's some anxiety about feeling like I have to do that.
All right. Now
Like
just
to just not have to do it.
all right. Now that anxiety, is that an apathy, a grief, a fear? What feeling is it?
I would say it falls best into fear.
Okay, so write down fear. Okay, now just allow yourself to feel that fear feeling.
Okay.
Could you let it go? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay. Feel any more of the fear. See if there's just a little bit left.
Very small amount left.
Well, a tiny bit that's left. Just allow yourself to feel it.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now. Yeah. That's
Okay,
good.
how does it feel now?
Good.
Feels
very
good?
Yes.
Okay, well that good feeling, what is that? And is that a courageous feeling, an accepting feeling?
It's more like courageous, like I feel, well, I'll call him.
Okay.
It's my option.
Right, okay, so write that down,
Feel strong
courageous.
about it.
By the way, give yourself a check for letting go of the fear.
Okay.
All right. Now, just allow yourself to feel the courageousness. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel it again. See if there's any more of that courageousness.
I think it's all gone. There might be a small part. It feels
Okay.
pretty well gone.
Feels gone? Okay. You feel more accepting now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Want to let that go too?
No.
I knew there was a little hesitation here.
Well,
But
let
what
go
would
of
happen
all
when you
these
let
good
go of the
things.
courageousness? You
Well,
felt
that's
even better.
acceptance, yeah.
Right.
That's true.
See, the important thing to remember when releasing the good feelings, that the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to feel better. And that's not so bad.
It's hard to imagine.
I know. Well, the problem is feeling good for most of us, especially feeling really good, is an exception instead of the rule. But as you keep releasing, it turns around. The more you release, the more it just becomes, well, yeah, of course I feel courageousness, doesn't everyone? So as you keep releasing, especially if you're willing to also let go of the good feelings, then instead of being so unusual, they become normal. And then what happens is, Lester calls it the bottoms-up method. The more you release, most of the time we go through life like this, you know, bouncing along on the same plane, some peaks, some valleys. These are our peak experiences because we're out of the garbage for a while, and then we're back down in the stuff again, and then we have a peak, and then we're back down. But as you release, it's not that this stops, but it starts going like this. It keeps going up. So what happens is, as you keep releasing, where you used to experience peaks will start to become your valleys. And if you're willing to keep releasing the good feelings, that really accelerates that process. So I'll let you keep going on that one. You might want to do a few more have-tos. And remember, no matter how good you feel, you can just ask yourself this simple question: could it get any better? And if it could, then go for it.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
So who else has a have-to? Yes,
I've got
Rodney.
one. Be nice to everybody.
You have to be nice to everybody?
Be nice
Okay.
to everybody.
Okay. And what's your now feeling about that?
Trapped.
Trapped? Okay.
Gets back to a fear emotion.
Okay, so just allow yourself to feel the fear.
Okay.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Okay, yes.
When?
Right now.
Okay. Now feel the fear again. Just allow yourself to feel the remaining fear.
Still there. Not as much, but it's still there.
Well, just let yourself feel it. There's no rush. Just allow yourself to feel it for a moment. Now, could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay. Now, there might still be a little bit of the fear left. A little bit. Now, just feel the remaining fear.
Okay.
There it goes. Good. You didn't even wait for me that time. Please don't wait. No waiting here. Okay, how does it feel now, Rodney?
Feels better.
Feels better? Okay, so what feeling is that? What's your now, when you look at that again, that you feel like you have to be nice?
More of a peaceful feeling.
More of a peaceful
I don't
feeling?
have to do it.
You don't have to. Great. Now you can still choose to be nice, but you don't have to. Great.
I'll probably still be nice.
But look, you'll have more of a choice if you keep releasing. Because a lot of times we think we have to be nice. And if someone's yelling at you and you're being nice back, they might not even hear you. But if you have freedom to be the way, whatever is appropriate in the moment, sometimes to get someone's attention, you might need to raise your voice. But if you think you have to be nice, you can't. It doesn't mean you don't even need to be angry to raise your voice. But if you have to be nice, you can't. So just check to see if there's any more feeling about that.
Still a little itty bitty.
Little bitty. Okay, so just allow yourself to feel it.
It's not as compulsive as it was.
Yeah, but there's still some push, right?
A little bit.
All right, so just allow yourself to feel it. Now, could you allow it to release?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
It's better.
Feels better?
Not,
Okay,
not controlling.
great. Okay.
Maybe I'll just smile at it when I walk by.
All right. Now just see what, so you have a more positive feeling now?
That's more positive.
Okay, and is it a, where would you put that on the chart?
Oh, acceptance or peace.
Okay, so now let's do one release on the good feeling for a good measure. So just allow yourself to feel the good feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of a loving feeling now.
Right, so just allow yourself to feel it.
Okay.
Could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
More of an infinite feeling coming on here.
Right. And expanded.
Yeah, expanded feeling. That's a good word.
Great. Wonderful. Now just keep going. Keep letting that go too. It'll get even better. And make sure you keep going down on your list.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So who else has a have to they'd like to release? Craig.
When I'm around certain people, I really feel like I have to hold on to my anger. And otherwise they'll dominate me or they'll push me around. And so...
Okay. So what's your, when you think about that have to, what's your now feeling about it?
I guess it's fear.
It's fear?
Yeah.
All right, so now just allow yourself to feel the fear. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel it again. Feel the remainder of the fear.
Okay.
Okay. Now could you let it go? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Still some there, isn't there?
Yes. It's
Might be a little bit of a sense that it's not okay to let it go here either. You know what I mean? You feel like you have to hold on around them. Even thinking about them, you feel like you have to hold on. Do you have that sense of holding on?
yes.
Okay, what's that? Is that an apathy, grief, fear, lust?
It's kind of grief.
A grief? All right. And just allow it to come up.
Kind of guilty.
Yeah. So just allow that grief to come up. Just allow yourself to feel it. Okay? Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
I did.
Yeah. That's a little easier now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so just feel your now feeling again. See what the now feeling is.
Guess I'm feeling kind of ashamed or
Shame?
yeah.
Okay, and is that an apathy, a grief, a fear, a lust? What is it?
It's kind of a lust. It's wanting to be liked or wanting to be.
Oh, okay. All right, so just allow yourself to feel the lust. Uh-oh, there it goes. Did you let go more of it?
Yeah, just as soon as I really get clear on what it is,
Yes.
it just
Release
seems
it.
so silly.
Yeah. Discovery is half the process. We spend so much of our time running from our emotions that when we're just willing to turn around and squarely look at what we're feeling in the moment, that's about 80%. Letting go is really pretty easy. It happens, you'll see as you keep working with it, it will happen more and more spontaneously. And it doesn't mean you're necessarily laughing all the time. You might laugh more, you might not. But you'll notice that you become aware of your feeling, and as soon as you become aware of it with the intention of being willing to let it go, you'll notice it will start releasing more and more. In fact, one of the things you'll notice over the week as you're practicing the technique before watching the next tape, or as you work with it over time, you'll notice that even the questions we use become secondary. The questions are really just, they're our lead into the process, but they become secondary after a while.
Okay.
So how do you feel now?
I feel real light and calm.
Okay. Let's do one release on the good feeling too.
Okay.
So just that calm feeling, is that a peaceful feeling, an accepting feeling, courageous? What is it?
It's kind of just quiet and peaceful.
Okay, so just allow yourself to feel the peace. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
Just real relaxed.
Great. Okay, well, just allow you to keep going with that on your own. Remember to keep working down your list. Okay? Who else would like to work on a have to?
I would.
Chris? Okay.
I feel that I have to share a greater responsibility in terms of responsibilities at home with my mate.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel they should be shared a little bit more equal. So I feel I have to
Right.
do certain things.
Right.
And the feeling that gives me is a feeling of frustration.
That frustration feeling,
Um,
is it an apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger? Anger?
Anger.
All right, so
Definitely.
just allow yourself to feel the anger. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
Okay. Now feel the anger again. Just feel whatever's left of the anger. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
Okay, how does it feel now?
That feels better.
Feels better? Okay. So where would you put that on the chart?
Probably a little bit more clarity, courageousness about approaching the whole idea of responsibilities and sharing them equally.
Good. Okay, so let's do one release on the good feeling too.
Okay.
So just allow yourself to feel that courageous feeling. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Next week.
Next week.
Because I'm going to need the courage to
Tell her. Yeah, you seem to be releasing it anyway. Again, even a good feeling, you don't need to hold on to it. Again, the basis of that is something else that I don't know if we've mentioned enough yet. The good part is inherent. Where the courageousness, acceptance, and peace, you don't have to do anything to put them in there. What we're doing is actually uncovering them. Now we'll let those go too eventually. When they're all gone, you're just imperturbable, where nothing and no one can disturb you. But in that state, you're absolutely powerful to accomplish whatever you want. So you're never giving anything up in your path to imperturbability, except the pain.
Okay.
Okay? Good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Now you can keep going as I'm working with our home viewers. So keep going down your list and keep releasing as I give your turn. So just allow yourself to focus on one of the have-tos on your list. Now just allow yourself to become aware of your now feeling about that have-to. Now trace it to one of the underlying emotions, the apathy, the fear, the lust, the anger, the pride, whatever it is. Could you allow it to release? Could you? Would you? When? Now feel the remainder of that feeling. Feel whatever's left of that now feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now take another look inside and just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. It might be more of the same feeling, or another feeling might be pushing up. But in either case, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When? Now take another look at that have to and see what your feeling is about it now. Just allow yourself to get a sense of your now feeling about that. Now remember, if it's a positive feeling, let's do a few releases on that as well. It could always feel better. And just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you allow yourself to let it go? Would you? When? Feel your now feeling again. Just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you allow it to release? Would you? When? Take one more look inside and just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Okay, now if you've let it go completely, give yourself a check in the let go column. And if you're feeling good now, give yourself a check in the feeling good column. And what I would suggest you do is pause the tape for a moment and continue working on the sheet to make sure you've released everything on your list of have-tos before you move on.